Your budget is like your bestie, your boo, your bae. It's who you consult when you have a financial decision to make. Your budget is going to be like, oh yeah, we can afford that, or you need to put that back. You know what? Let's wait for another time. Let's plan this out a little bit better. Welcome back to the Growing Money Game. This is Coach Johnson. So in your last series, you learned about checking, savings, and CDs, and I left you with a little bit of surprise. Although those are very great instruments on starting your financial journey, none of those, checking, savings, or CDs, is going to make you wealthy. Shocker, right? The number one thing to get going in your wealth after your checking, savings, and CDs is understanding your budget. I know that's the bad word that people don't want to admit, but let's talk about a budget, and let's talk about what the budget is and what it actually does for you. It's not the bad word that you think it is. So you should look at your budget as this. You think, what is a budget? What do I need it for? Your budget is the one thing that's going to keep it real with you financially. Your budget is like your bestie, your boo, your bae. It's who you consult when you have a financial decision to make. Your budget is going to be like, oh yeah, we can afford that, or you need to put that back. You know what? Let's wait for another time. Let's plan this out a little bit better. Did you catch that word, plan? Your budget is your plan for spending your money. It's not a restriction of your money. It's basically the plan that allows you the flexibility to put your money where it belongs, and it gets you ahead of the curve. So, why do I need the budget? Because like I said, it's going to help put you ahead of the curve. Yes, you absolutely need one. It shows you your financial picture. It's kind of like the little map that says you are here. Your budget is the you are here part. You're trying to go to a wealthy place. Your budget is what's going to guide you to get you there. It's the plan that you're going to put in place to help grow your money. Does that make sense? All right. So how do I create a budget? And what's the best method? So let's talk here. Let's take a quick break. I need you to hear me extremely well. No matter what budget technique you choose, the number one mistake that most people make in their budget, aside from not budgeting at all, is paying yourself first. When you get your paycheck, before you put it into any formula that you're going to find on Google or anywhere else, you need to pay yourself first. Put money aside for you that's going to work for you. Your pay yourself money isn't spending money, and it's also different from the money that you save. We'll talk more about paying yourself first and go in depth in that in just a moment. So, what methods are there and how do I plan that? Some of the best methods that I found are the 50-30-20 plan, the zero out plan. No matter which one you choose, the 50-30-20 says that I take my income and 50% of that goes towards needs, 30% goes towards the things that I want, and 20% goes to pay off debt and then towards savings. And that is a great formula. However, the amount or what number you put in there is the difference maker. When you get your check, before you allocate 50% to gas, groceries, rent, mortgage, whatever, before you allocate 30% to nails, haircuts, cable, or 20% to pay back debt, you need to pay you first. Put money aside to work for you. Then what's left goes into your 50, 30, 20, or to your zero out. Your zero out means you plan for every cent that you have. Every cent, every dollar has a place, and it's already accounted for in that budget. As long as you've paid you first, this will be okay. The bottom line is you have to find a method that works best for you. There's no one way, okay? But the one thing you have to do first is pay yourself. The next thing you should do is put money aside for charitable donations or tithes, because that money that you put to work for you is going to earn income. And so you want to have a charitable donation or something that you can potentially write off if need to. If you don't have a charity that you go to or you don't pay tithes, that's absolutely fine. As long as you've taken that first step to pay you, just know that this money that you use to pay you is going to make money for you. Okay? The third thing that you need to do, so you need to pay yourself first. The second thing you need to do is pick a strategy that works for you. And then the third thing you need to do with it is schedule it and be consistent. Mark it on a calendar, put an update in your phone, anything that's going to tell you that, hey, on this day of the month, you and I have a budget. You and your boo have a date. Does that make sense? And so when we talk about the budget, people say, well, why do I have to pay myself first? Why can't I just, put it in the formula? The reason why is because life is going to happen either way. How many times have you gotten your check, wrote out every single bill, every single person that you need to pay, and by the time you finish, there's nothing or very little left for you? So now you're struggling. If a major emergency comes up, now you got to put that on a credit card or go get a payday loan because you have nothing that has your back. That's why you pay yourself first. You put that money to work for you because these companies, let's be honest, the light bill, they've got millions of dollars. The cable, everything, they've got millions of dollars. So at the end of the day, why are you selling yourself short? If anybody's going to have to struggle at the end of the month, it should be them. Not you, not your family. Does that part make sense? All right. Paying yourself first also, it just puts you ahead of the game. You put money aside that's earning interest for you. Even if you have to tap into it, that's money that you don't have to borrow. That's money that you don't have to put on a credit card. Even if it's not the full amount of the emergency. If it's just $500 and your emergency is $700, that's $500 that you don't have to borrow. All right. So the next thing is, when should my budget change? Your budget should change as you change. So you want to schedule it monthly or bi-weekly, whatever, but then you also want to take account any major events that might be happening. If you're getting a new job, you need to adjust your budget. If you're moving to a new place and the rent is either more or less or the mortgage is different, you need to adjust for those kind of things. Anything that happens in life that is going to impact you financially, you need to have a budget for, and that is an excellent time to reassess your budget. Any other questions about that piece? If so, write them down. So now that we've gone over checking accounts, savings accounts, CDs, we've tackled the first part of your budget. How do you feel? You should absolutely be a lot more in control, but how does that make you feel? Think about that, write that down. If you've got any questions, go ahead and contact me at coachthegame@gmail.com, and I'd be more than glad to answer any questions that you might have. That's it for our first lesson on the basics of budgeting. Let's talk with our next video and let's go in depth on paying you first and other important things.